Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome to JPTV, and welcome to round two of the PSGL F2 Championship. And for this week, we are in China for this for tonight. And yeah, we've seen some exciting races so far this week. None more so than last night's epic race in F3 where such variable weather conditions and the safety car came out. The stream wasn't great because of PSN issues on my internet. I don't know which it was, but the race itself was fantastic and probably one of the most exciting races I've commentated on. But anyway, yeah, enough about F3. F2 tonight, and it had an exciting race last week in Australia where Little took the maiden victory of the season, narrowly beating, on track at least, Odems. But Odems did have some time penalties, so he wouldn't have won anyway. So yeah, great performance from those two. It seems like those two are going to be the ones to beat this season. So yeah, it should be another exciting race at China where tyre management is going to be a factor and the weather could come into play. Uh, Hulk is joining me again tonight. So yeah, Hulk, what's your after the first race of the season? What's your initial thoughts of the F2 Championship uh, this season?
Well, firstly, it seems to be relatively close at the top of the field. Obviously, there was a very close between Luckenbox and Odems last week, and uh, possibly going to be the same again this week. And we also have some other drivers who can always get involved, like Lambo. He was up there last week, Hellboy to a certain extent, and yeah, you tend to have close clusters of drivers all throughout the fields. You have Boy with No Face and Ivan who are close together as well. So yeah, it seems like an exciting season for pretty much everyone.
Yeah, very much so. So you raced in your F4 championship last night, and I think it was a dry race throughout. But what's the what do you think is the best strategy for tonight's race? Is it an easy soft to medium? Would you say?
Yeah, well, I had dry race, yeah, but I had a wet qualifying session. So everyone started on the soft tyre, went straight to the mediums. Some people might be trying to maximise their track position from the start and will start in the ultras, but I don't think that's the best race strategy. You lose too much time because you're pretty much forced to do a two stop, or you lose a lot of time extending the ultra stint beyond to where they can reasonably go. So I believe most people will be trying the soft tyre in qualifying and using that to go for a one stop.
Yeah, very much so. So five races, sorry, six races so far this week, and we've had rain in three of them. So statistically, there's going to be a 50% chance of rain here tonight. And yeah, as I said last night, the safety car came out. That was the first time ever, as a commentator, I've ever seen a safety car. So maybe see one tonight. Decent turnout for F2 tonight. We've got Bakers, Greeny, Kim, Mick, France, Tusmus, Lambo, Lickle, last week's AMK is here as well. Aaron, Boy No Face, Josh as we know him. Fine Frame, last year's F3 champion, Hellboy is here. Lego Minecraft, Jake Boy who is reserved but is I think he's still reserve, I believe. I'm not sure if he's got a permanency. I think he might have a permanency now. But Poe, Tom, who won the FP race on last Tuesday. So yeah, could be an interesting race. This. Unfortunately, there is a small delay because we're waiting for someone. Although I have just seen the timer start, so we should be. I just stopped again,
And gone off, yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they know whether to go or not. So we might be waiting a while. Hopefully not too much longer. See, yeah, I think we have everyone in who's going to arrive. So we should be starting any moment now.
Yeah, Odems is not here, I don't believe. So that would be unfortunate if he wasn't able to take part. But
He says he's on his way, so
okay. Oh yeah, yeah, I've just seen that. Yeah, so hopefully, yeah, it's starting very shortly.
yeah, I think now he's in.
Oh
Think
yeah,
so.
so yeah,
Yep.
fantastic. So yeah, the timer is ticked down again.
Yep, that would seem so. We're going to get underway now.
Yeah,
Not too late, just 4 minutes, so not
no,
too bad of a delay.
no dramas, and my internet has been pretty decent all day. So hopefully the stream should be pretty good tonight. Um, yeah, the timing screens was all over the place last night, but hopefully we will not have any dramas tonight. So, um, 18-minute qualifier session as usual, and
Yep,
so
which it
go
will
on.
be interesting actually that because you only get one set of soft tyres, so whether people will be wanting to save them for the end for when the track's best to set the lap time on them, or whether they obviously don't want to risk setting too quick a lap on the ultra soft tyres and then not being able to beat it on the softs, which would compromise their race strategy. So we might be in for quite a quiet qualifying session if there's no rain.
Oh, and it's a wet qualifying,
Well,
so
there goes Lass.
yeah. So it looks like, from what I can see, intermediate conditions there. Doesn't look like as big as it's having the full wet, but let's see if I can just see the tyres. Yeah, they're all on intermediate. So, but as we saw last night in F3, it started off heavy rain and then went on to the inters towards the end of the session. So this could be the opposite of that, and maybe cars will start to come out quite early, but there's no rush seemingly to come out of the pits. So it looks like it could just be intermediates throughout the
Yeah,
session as it
there
dries up.
is. There's a couple of cars coming out now that people will have had to modify the setup slightly for the wet conditions. I'm not sure if it's going to change the qualifying session. It could be drying up towards the end, which might also lead a few people to staying in the box for a few minutes.
So what would you do in this scenario? I mean, we don't know the weather, but let's just say it's a dry race. Would you just have a? Oh, I've got some engine noise here, which is unfortunate. But yeah, as I was saying, would you just run a dry setup for quali and hope for the best, or would you try and use a bit of a wet setup and maximise your grip position?
I don't think it's really worthwhile. You can lose too much time in the race if you do that. You can modify your front wing, which can help a fair bit actually, but I wouldn't go all out in creating an entirely wet setup. I mean, you can usually set a fairly decent time on a dry setup anyway, so it shouldn't make that much of a difference. So I can't see anyone vastly modifying the setup purely for qualifying.
No, interestingly, as you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, Jacob Boy and Oliver Vell have got the soft tyres currently fitted.
Yeah,
Whether
that
that's going to stay like that when they come out or not, I don't know.
yeah,
Uh,
maybe if the track's going to dry up later on in the session, we don't know. And maybe they're just not really bothered about going out yet, so they haven't changed the tyres. Oh, actually, they would have had to manually have done that, wouldn't they? So,
yeah.
yeah, that would imply that potentially the track is going to dry up towards the end of this session.
Turn my TV down a little bit. So yeah, Tusmus in the Williams is going to be the first one to set a qualifying lap. Well, hopefully, unless he invalidates it. But yeah, but anyway, he's going to be the first one to go around with track and anger as he goes around turns 1 and 2 now. Looks taking that fairly nice and tidy. Looks like he's got plenty of grip in those intermediates. And rear side Francis retired. I'm not sure what's happened to him. I was going to stay on board with Tusmus for the minute. as he comes down to turn 3, I believe it is.
Uh,
It's
Francis
squirming.
crashed at the final corner. That's what happened to him. That's why
Oh,
he's out of qualifying. So very disappointing for him. He's going to start right at the back for the race. So that's pretty much any. It's been a bad start of the season. I think he didn't finish in Australia either. So, I mean, it's a
no.
short season as well. So he's lost a lot of points already.
That's a very good point you make. And 11 races a season, 10 to go. Yeah, any mistake is going to cost you a lot more this season as compared to previous seasons. And Poe's retired as well. I'm not sure what's happened to him, but I'm going to stay in Baldertusmus as he goes down the back straight. Looks been fairly tidy lap so far. Apologies for an engine noise if it is. And he's weaving down the back straight. I thought he'd
Yeah,
lose
well, he's
time
not
doing
in
that.
maximum ERS, so presumably he's not pushing hard on this lap, and so
Well, right,
it's not
okay.
going to be a full-on flying lap. I think that he's taking 2 laps in order to warm the tyres a little bit.
So let me see if I can find somebody else then. Greeny, he's coming down the back straight. I haven't got the best camera angle. I think it's Tom, no, it's AMK, he's just behind him. Baker's fast lap. Well, only lap, 1:44.8. And Aaron does a lap into 1:45.0. So Aaron's time's come out early this time compared to last week. What can Greeny do as he crosses the line? Greeny goes pole. AMK beats that immediately at 1:43.7. So what sort of time would you be expecting in these conditions?
Honestly, I have no idea because it depends on how wet the track is. I mean, we know it's intermediate conditions, but that could really mean a fair bit of difference. I mean, it could be close to wet, it could be close to dry. It looks closer to dry, so I think in 1:43, 1:44 looks to be the times that people are aiming for. It's a very good time for EMK. He's a full 4 tenths ahead of King Nick.
Yeah, Nichol's not had a great first lap. He's on 1:46s. So he had a messy his first initial lap, sorry. Lego Minecraft coming down the mini back straight at the minute, as I think, if that's what you can call it. And yeah, fairly neat and tidy through there. And he's going to come around the hairpin and on his way down the back straight. Yellow flags in sector 2 and 3. It's not, but it quickly disappears.
Yeah, I think it was
Hopefully,
just Greeny slowing down. It wasn't anything serious.
I was wondering if no, I was going to say the cars in front of him are too far in front, but people can try and get a toe down the back straight, but yeah, nowhere near the car in front of him. But anyway, as he comes down the penultimate corner, the last corner now, what can he do? The arse is enabled.
Yep. So that does show that the track is drying out. Won't be long
Okay.
before people will be on the dry tyres. We've already lost 3 cars, less than 10
Oh,
minutes into the session.
Flying Frame retired. I missed that. So Jacob Boy, who just switched into intermediate, he's still in the pits anyway. Oliver Vale on the ultra soft. That's quite a unique strategy if he comes out on these tyres. But again, we don't know the weather for the race, so yeah, interesting. But he's
Yeah, I
still in
think
the
this
pit
is
though.
this has now just became a dry qualifying session pretty much. You can
Yeah.
pretty much ignore the times that people have done on the intermediates. They're not going to matter. It's going to be a straight shootout.
With 10 minutes to go, yeah, and Francis and Poe and Flying Frame will be kicking themselves. But surely people would have known what it was going to be. It was going to be dry enough at the end, and I don't understand why people came out so early. But anyway, each their own. They're more expensive than I am. No one's come out yet for a dry time, and the rain seems to have stopped, but the track will still be a little bit damp.
Yeah,
So
there's nothing really gained from going out on the track at the moment. It's still going to be quite wet. You're going to want to wait as long as possible until the track evolution kicks in and it dries up a lot more.
yeah, so really realistically, you're not going to see them cut to 5 minutes. But I did see a Renault, I think it was, just going to pit there. Let's see if I can go and board it in. Oh no, it was McLaren, AMK, I believe.
On the medium tyres, so I don't think he won't be going for a particularly quick lap, just testing conditions.
Yeah, oh,
He'll be able to,
gone.
he'll be able to do multiple laps on those medium tyres as well, without them burning up or anything. So,
Well, it
yeah,
depends.
it is.
It depends how quickly the track dries out, I suppose. If the track is still damp towards the end, the medium tyres might be the best tyre to be on. But
I don't think that is the case on this game. I think the harder tyres don't work as well in the damp conditions as the softer ones, because the softer ones appear to be easier to get up to temperature.
And to be honest, the track looks quite dry out there. In all fairness, there's no spray coming off the wheels, so yeah, it looks like it's dried out quickly. Anyway, but anyway,
and lots of people on the medium tyres, it looks like, preparing to go out. Let's bring them soft as well. Only two people on the ultra softs. That's what they're going to go for when they leave the pits. Needs to be seen.
Yeah, so Hellboy and Lego Minecraft, but Lego is still in the pits, so he's still got time to change his mind. It's still 8 minutes left in the session, so ANK will be the first one to do a flying lap in the dry conditions. So he's already in P2 anyway, so he's starting at quite a good base, but he's obviously going to improve his time. But how much time can he gain compared to his rivals in the session? So yeah, again, no spray coming off the tyres at all, so it looks like fairly dry. But he's still got time to come in and put on a set of softs if he feels the need to do so. Looks like nice and tight. It doesn't look magnificently quick, but just looks nice. As he comes down to the mini back straight now.
Yeah, the issue with the mediums is they tend to take at least 2 laps to get up to a proper working temperature. And this is going to be a very cold track as well, so it's going to be even more difficult. So it might be staying out a couple of laps before we see the optimum time on them. That's if he remains out that long on them.
Yeah, very much so. Comes down the back straight, DRS open. I haven't got the most brilliant camera angle, but anyway. And he goes on the corner. We've seen a lot of penalties so far this week with that corner, but anyway, AMK, and he goes pole obviously with 1:35.2. I'd like to see if I can pick someone else coming to the end of their lap. Baker's, I think he's starting that.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone particularly floating the line at any time in the near future.
I think Hellboy will be the next one to set a time. He's on the ultra soft, so that could be interesting.
He's gone very aggressive.
Yeah.
Pushing for the pole position.
Went slightly wide in that hairpin, but he's got a good run down the back straight. Thankfully the engine noise seems to have disappeared now, so yeah, that's good. He comes around the penultimate corner. Missed the apex slightly.
Yeah, let's see how much quicker RDO2 is compared to the medium, so we'll find out as he trying to line now. It's 1:34.2, so that was invalidated, so it's not going to count.
No,
but it was second quicker than the medium, so probably wasn't a very good lap either. You expect the Oversoft to be quicker than that. As Ivan goes original pole. I didn't think I'd be saying that today.
The 1:34.4, yeah, but last seeing on the top, those little beats it straight away in the 1:32s. AMK goes fastest again on the one day. Little actually as well. So a mixture of strategies here.
Yeah, and maybe these people will be looking to dive into pits at the end of what would be their in lap and go on to a different tyre for the last few minutes.
Yeah, so quite a lot of people in the pits or just doing their in laps. Boy, no Lego Minecraft were 1:31.0 on the Ultrasoft, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, they're getting
that.
closer towards the times that you'd be doing in a completely dry session.
So I suppose people will be looking at that and whether they're going to put on a quicker tyre on that. But Josh now coming to the last corner, boy in the face. Oh, it decides to bin it, so he must have invalidated it or something. But oh my God, Hellboy trying to overtake Josh in the pit lane.
It's a bit impressive.
It was very much so. Jake and Ollie not done a lap at all yet. Interested in that. I'd leave it to the last minute. I think we've just seen a Sauber or a Ferrari come out.
I don't see either. Yeah, it's green from Ferrari.
Yeah.
On the soft tyres.
So, is time on the intermediate tyres? Yeah, that's the one he's done so far. He's left it really late in the session to do a lap, which has its risks if you mess it up, but the track is at its best conditions at the minute.
Yeah, the people who are just coming out right about now are timing it very well because, as far as I'm aware, these soft tyres take an extra lap to warm up properly, and if you're going out now, you're only going to have time for one run, so really the likes of Greeny and Douglas and that who are already on the track are going to have a bit of an advantage in my opinion.
Yeah, very much so. So at the minute, Lego Minecraft is the only person who's Lego Minecraft is the only person who's set a ton of Microsoft. Doesn't look like anyone else is going to use that strategy. So Lego Minecraft will have to do a two-stop strategy in the race unless he can. Well, I don't know. I couldn't personally do it. Can you do an ultras to mediums?
It's technically possible. It's not the ideal strategy. You lose a lot of time towards the end of your first stint, and you're also pushing mediums further than you'd ideally want them to go as well. Although they can tend to take something. And Ollie has stopped on the track. I don't really know why. He's started again now. You see Lego Minecraft now out on the soft tyres, so he believes he can beat his current time, but it's a very quick time. It's going to be fairly difficult. Quick time compared to what the soft tyres can usually do, so it's going to be very difficult to beat that.
Yeah, and he's going to have to get out pretty quick because it's only 1.5 ways come out now. Yeah, but even
it's going to be a racing out lap, I feel.
Yeah. But having said that, Josh, no face has gone in Ultrasofts. Saying he's going for pole by the looks of it. But
Tuchman's he's down in the final corner. I think he's the first one I see on the soft tyres. Where's he going? He's on P2.
Yeah, 1:32.2. So it's still quite away from that 31.0 from Lego Minecraft. But anyway, he wasn't for a green and
Tommy's beaten that time already. He's in P2. Still 9/10 away from the current provisional pole time.
Yeah, do you think the drivers will be rattled by Lego's time, or do you think it's think of the long game, the race is another thing altogether?
No, I think they'll realise that's on the even worse race tyre, and they might be a bit surprised that you decided to go with that strategy.
Yeah, very much so. Green's got a bit of traffic, but gets out of the way very nicely. Oh, he's slowed down. He's going to get another back. Nice boy, no face. He's coming down the back straight. He might go and ball in because he's on the ultra soft tyres. Or actually, I might see where Little is for the time being. See if he's covered down. Yeah, Little was a bit further ahead, so I'm going to stay on board with him for a minute. See what he can do. 1:32.9 in a minute. He won't be happy with that. He's in P6 in a minute. Odin's on P2. I'm looking much up this lap. I've got engine oil as well, so I'm going to abandon that. Odin's were 1:30.16.
That's not a bad time on the soft tyre. And Lego Minecraft will be trying to beat his time on the soft tyre. He's going to find it rather difficult, I feel.
Yeah.
He realises he's not on the ideal strategy at the moment.
Yeah, if anything, that time he sent was too good. Even for him to beat. But Josh, he's going to gamble. I mean, he was at the lower end of the order. Last week. I can't remember where he finished now. It was any particularly high, but he will be wanting to gamble, I suppose. See if he can just mix it up a little bit. As Jacob Boy qualified in P2, 1:31.4. And Lickle qualified 4th in the end. Aaron 5th, so that's a great result for Aaron so far. Or it's just been
Lego
pushed up to 6th.
Round the final corner, is he going to beat his time? He hasn't. I don't think he has. Oh, he's 8 tenths off. Josh goes pole.
30.6. I think that's
That's
done.
another thing I didn't think of. Yeah, that is qualifying over. There's another thing I didn't think I'd be seeing today here. Josh on pole position.
So
I think he knows that he wouldn't be able to get in the top 10 on the soft tyre, and he's just gone for a bit of glory run there, but yeah, it's a decent enough for him to get pole position there. He's taking advantage of the drying track going on the others.
So I'm thinking how that those ultra shots won't get much past 5 laps. But I suppose if you look after them, you can probably stretch him out for another 2 laps maybe. But I don't think he's going to have to go to lap 9 or 10 in he with those on that strategy. But both of them you can Minecraft as well.
You can push the mediums a fair way, but they will be very slow. It's really not the quickest strategy to hit from like lap 5 or 6 on them.
Yeah.
Even though they will go to the end, they're not going to like it very much. And you're going to be quite slow, especially towards the end of the race.
So yeah, Josh, pole position for the start of the race with Lego Minecraft and P2 on ultra soft tyres. So great, interesting qualifying session from there, and the guys who retired fairly early on, like Frome, and I can't remember who else it was now. It was Frome, it was Francis as well. Who,
Yeah, and there was another driver who crashed. I can't remember which one it was.
No.
I think it was one of the Toro Rossos.
Yeah, they were kicking themselves. But it's a race. It's a long race. See what happens. It looks quite cloudy, but it might not rain at all. It could just be normal cloud. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one.
It should be an interesting race. The ultra soft runners you'd expect will put a little bit of a gap in the opening stint, but obviously they might have to go for a 2-stop or have a slower 1-stop than the people on the soft tyres. As they start the formation lap now.
Yeah, so what I find interesting about this particular grid is, Hope, is that the pole sitter is on the outside of on turn 1, which I think gives a massive advantage to Lego Minecraft. I mean, he's prime there for a dive bomb. Not just a dive bomb, but you could go inside of turn 1 quite easily from P2 if he gets a good enough start.
Yeah, that is true. I think the person on the outside has to be quite aggressive. They do have the racing line, obviously, and the racing line tends to be to cut across to the inside of the corner from the outside. So really, you have to try and do that and ensure you're not going to make contact with the car behind you, but also making sure that you're not going to leave a gap either. You don't want to be too kind to them and leave space on the inside. You have to be bold and aggressive, which on cold tyres at the start of the race is quite difficult to do. You also have to remember that even if you are going side by side through the first section, you will have the inside line for the second part of it.
Very much so, but I'd just like to say a great qualifying session we're hearing there in P7. He probably was a bit despondent after his after his result in the last race, but a decent qualifying result for him there in front of the McLaren of Tom there, so he'll be happy with that.
Yeah, he was struggling in Australia, didn't really have the pace. He was languishing down back the field for most of the race. Yeah, and now I think he ended up getting the final point ahead of, it might have been Bakers, I believe. Yeah, and this time he's up to P7, up in the points. He's going to do what he does best and try and hold off drivers who you would expect to be quicker under usual circumstances.
Yeah, very much so. So yeah. Oh my God, Greeny getting aggressive in the formation lap there.
The car was spun on the formation lap as well. I think it was a McLaren.
Yeah.
It might have been Tom.
So I suppose in the cloud, the track temperature is going to be quite cool. We're only going to try a lot harder to warm up those tyres, but some people don't think much of the formation lap. Other people do, but anyway, it depends who you ask. But anyway, the grid is set, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're underway at China for the round 2 of the F2 Championship, and it's a decent start from from Josh, but Lego Minecraft going up the inside, and he takes that move just like I said. Oh, and
and that allowed Lego Minecraft to get through. Now Josh is losing positions hand over fist. He's already lost second place now to Jakey Boy, the debutant. Is he going to lose a position to Greeny as well? No, but he's going to try and fight back against Jakey Boy. He's going to have to dive up the inside into turn 4. No, he looks down the outside instead, but he can't get that move done as Jakey Boy breaks late, and most people seem to have gotten away cleanly, but Little Block has had a very poor start. He's down in P14.
I think he lagged out by the looks of it. I didn't see his level session, but it was a great start from the Williams driver there. But Greeny being very much pressurised by Tom now. And that's the Mercedes going very wide. Oh my God. Yeah, and the Ferrari, the McLaren, and the Toro Rosso all getting through there. I had to avoid Al and Josh. It's all going bad to worse when he's lost some wing damage there, lost some carbon fibre, sorry. But he's gone on the inside. I'm going to get a decent view of this. He's gone on the inside of Kim Nick. But Lambo who's actually fighting with him, he's lost some positions there. But Josh, yeah, Alan, a terrible start. He's lost 5 positions, not even a lap of this race.
Yep, and it all went wrong at turn 1. He tried to be aggressive and turned in for the corner, taking the racing line, but the Force India logo Minecraft was already there, and there was contact between them, and that Josh came off worse than that, and now he's already dropped down to 5th position, and as you say, it looks like he has damage to his car as well.
Yes, that's very unfortunate as the Lambo trying to come into the kit. Yeah, oh no, Aaron, oh no, it's a shame. Aaron K's there as well, as in the Power Boy. As Little man to get back in, no, he's still ghosting. So really unfortunate for those 3 drivers, but it's a great start from Lego Minecraft. Like I said, being P2 is not always a bad thing, and he's got quite a healthy lead now. Those ultra soft tyres, remember.
He's got to make sure to build as much of a gap as he possibly can while those ultra soft tyres are supreme, because they quickly won't be.
Yes, very much so. So Tom, FP winner on Tuesday night, is challenging Jakey Boy now. Can he try to make a move down at the back straight and a little bit too far back? And Greeny, who had a decent start on, and someone going wide there in the background, had a decent start, lost some Oh yeah, and Josh now is under pressure from the Red Bull of King Mick. Oh, there's a bit of a train, to be honest. There's Renault and a Force India in the background. Tyres looking up.
Oh,
Oh
that's it.
no! And Hellboy's retired.
He'll be giving up after he had to pit on lap one. That was some interesting defending from Josh there, really forcing the Red Bull wide. If possible, and that Red Bull's now off 2 positions from him. Josh
Yeah.
trying to hold his position in 5th place from VSR Francis, who trying to hold it around the outside of turn 1.
Oh, and King Mick, who was on board there, has lost position to Bakers. Yeah, bit of a train now running going from Josh in P5 down to P10. Oh, and Francis looks on the inside. I think Josh might be struggling with that wing damage. I don't know how bad it is. It's hard to tell on these new camera angles. And Francis on the inside, and he takes that P5. It's a good move from Francis there.
Now Josh under threat from a Renault or their Odems. Managed to hold that position for now, but probably won't be long until he can see another position down, probably this Max straight here, or he will have the DRS now on Force India ahead as well as the slipstream, so might be able to use that to defend.
Yes, let's look going forward with Josh. Yeah, he gets on a bit too far back. He's under pressure from Odems now in P7. So yeah, I think Odems is going to go down the inside. Josh not particularly defending that. They were always moved over, and Odems hasn't been on the outside. Was that a bit of a late move, or would you say that was fair game?
It was a very late move. I'm not sure if Odems had any of his car alongside him.
No,
If he didn't, then it would be a legal move, although fairly aggressive obviously. But again, Josh just making sure that the other car has the outside line for the exit of that corner and then just shoving him out wide as much as possible. But he's already lost position at turn 1. He just has no front end grip through that corner. Yeah, just losing absolutely heaps of time. He's losing position to his teammate now.
Yeah, so that strategy of going multiple tyres has just been null and void really, because that wing damage is costing him time and positions. So very important with Josh there, and he's under pressure from the two Toro Rosso guys, Pro and Lambo. And Pro going around the outside, a bit contact, but no, Josh stands out in a minute. It goes down the inside, no, Josh having a better exit. All contact again, and Pro can sink down the no, he's decided to hold back. Oh, and Josh has gone very wide. Oh no, Josh. Oh dear. That is really unfortunate. I think he's gonna have to pit, cut his losses. He went wide and he tried to come back on track a bit aggressively, I think. Made contact with Pro, I think. And yeah, oh my! And there's a massive gaggle of cars here from Pro down to Flying Throne.
Yeah, it's the remnants of the train that Josh who calls to gather up behind him.
Yeah. That's one pit. Lego Minecraft's pitted. He's gone to the medium, so he's pitted on lap 5.
Yep, then Josh comes in as well. He's a pit stop down from the Force India driver already. Following his pillar first stint, not much you could do about that with the damage.
So we've got the two Toro Rossos with a Renault in the mix and the throne. After his poor qualifying position, made his way up to P11, just outside the points. He's on the medium tyres as well, so he is the highest driver on the medium tyres. It is Chrome, so he's not in a bad position at the minute.
No, he's not. He's made up 7 positions from his starting grid slot, and all the drivers fighting ahead of him, and the big train behind Josh is helpful him catch up with the drivers. He's 1 position away from a point scoring place. He's going to have the DRS on the Force India and the Red Bull ahead of him. As looking at the battle down this long DRS straight.
Our Tusmer's retired from the session. Let's see if we can see what's happened with the Ben Boy Judge. Quite silly really, but
He's just retired for up the side, giving up.
yeah, MK made 2 pit stops already, so he's a real and Tom got past Jakey Boy unseen by us, so Tom takes the lead of the race for his second victory in China inside of a week, maybe. But anyway, we're going to have to go down to the midfield because that's where all the action is happening. As Francis is actually, I can't quite tell what's happening there because there's a McLaren there. Oh no, it is. Sorry, I lost the plot there for a second. The top 4 are very actually close together, and like Odems, who was battling in the midfield, has caught up to the top 3 very, very quickly. That's
Yeah, I'm
what
not sure if
kind
it's
of threw me a
just
little bit.
because. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's just because the top 3 have been battling so much, or whether it's because Orland is that much quicker at the moment. And either way, it looks like he could be joining the battle from the lead in a couple of laps' time. This battle for second place is really hotting up now. As you see, Greeny on the outside, he's off on the inside. Third place on Chick, he's run wide on the exit of that long sweeping right-hander. He's going to be very vulnerable down the straight. Is there anything you can do to defend? I don't think there is.
No, Francis, he's gone to P2, so Jakey Boy, the Williams, ran slightly wide, unfortunately for him, and that left him vulnerable to attack of Francis, and Francis takes that position as Greeny goes very wide there on the exit.
Yep, but Jakey Boy is going to have the DRS down the pit straight. He hasn't really closed enough to have a move, but he's still very close behind. And yep, Ordems is catching up to this battle.
Yeah, so Baker's down in P6 has got the Toro Rosso Poe and Favel, and Flying Throne not too far behind, but King Mick as well. As Flying Throne has actually got past King Mick, so Flying Throne is actually in the points now. So he's having a great recovery drive considering his starting position. So great battles in the midfield, but I think we're going to go back up to the front in a minute and see how Francis can he challenge Tom for the win. He's caught up to him very quickly, both on the same tyre. I mean, Tom he's a driver who's very conservative. He's not the most aggressive driver when it comes to his tyre wear and things like that. But he just seems to have a decent race. But he's under threat now from Francis. And I think he's going to lose his position quite quickly. And Francis even gets past him towards the braking zone. Oh, he's gone deep though. He's gone very deep. Can Tom get past that pass? Yes, he does. So Francis is very late on the brakes there, but too late.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake there. He almost made the same mistake when he was passing Jacob on the lap before. He ran wide, but managed to keep it just about on the track. This time, not so, but he's going to have a move up at the inside of turn 1, forcing Tom around the outside. Although Tom then sweeps back around to the inside of what is turn 2 now. Now, on the outside, is he going to get their exit down towards turn 3? It's not really a corner.
No, I was wondering what EOS mode he was in to get that move done, but he seems to have a lot of straight on speed there. But very good there from Francis, so he takes the lead of this race on lap 8.
Yep, and I have no idea who the quickest car on track is at the moment, because they all seem to be so close together. Every time someone makes a move, another car just catches back up to him.
Look in the chat, what a restart. Didn't get it unfortunately for him, but anyway. Yeah, Tom, can he stay in touch with him and try and get moved out and back straight? No, he's lost a bit of time.
He's already out of DRS range.
Yeah.
But Boy got back 2 seconds from them, and
sorry to interrupt you, Holt, but Green is very vulnerable for Odin. Now Green went very wide on the exit of the hairpin. Yeah, and can Odin get his braking done correctly? Locks up, but then very much makes the corner.
Yep, and now forms up into 9th place, so he has ran wide. It's further down the field here, and he's lost that place now, but he's going to put the inside into the final corner. He can make it stick. I think he just about did manage to get in there. And man first, continuing his excellent recovery drive.
Yeah, very much so. Lickham's still. Oh, Lickham's back in the car, so good news for him.
Yep. He's a full 31 seconds down on the leader though, so it'll be tough for him to even get points.
Yeah. But you never know, he's going to have to pray for a safety car, I think. They don't know the open conditions, but it still looks cloudy out there, but that doesn't mean anything. Aaron coming from P13 and Lego Minecraft and going on the ultra soft tyres in P12, 6 seconds away from any sort of points really. But so yeah, not the greatest strategy, but flying third in P9. Very good race finish so far. Ow, and Poe. Oh no, just caught on board with that. And Bakers has been tagged by Victoria Russell or Poe there. I'm not sure whose fault that was. I didn't get a good enough view of it, but Poe has made his way to P6. So a little bit of controversy there. With Poe letting pass, no he won't. Oh, Becker's gone in the grass.
It's been some very aggressive driving today. It's not ending now. As down that long DRS bit, everyone's being forced off the track by other drivers, and TG4 gets through courtesy of a small tap with Bakers. As who's that in the pit now? It's Ordems and Greeny beside the pit on lap 9.
Yeah, so that moves everyone up, and NK and then McLaren has decided to call it a day. Yeah, there's already made 2 pit stops, and so it was disastrous for the McLaren driver. But anyway, yeah, great battling here from P5 all the way down to P9. So P4
cars so close together.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy to see that lap 10 still so close together. I'm not sure how long it can stay like this.
No, we had this similar last night, maybe it's China just one of those tracks where it just provides such close racing. Not really seen it in previous games, but certainly on this one so far, it's been very entertaining so far this week. Francis now with 1.8 second lead, but it's not the battle we're going to be watching. Poe stretching his legs a little bit away from that battle.
I'm wondering if Bakers is being a bit of a bottleneck at the moment, because Paul has pulled almost 2 seconds.
Oh
no!
Ollie Fravel. Oh,
that was some aggressive defending from Bakers, forcing Ollie off the track there.
Yeah, Ollie Fravel went in the grass, trying to avoid an accident. Lucky not to lose his tyre actually. Still in his race, but he's lost some wing, I can tell, on the right hand side there. So yeah, very unfortunate then for Bakers getting caught up in all sorts of incidents, and Tom into the pits now, and lap 11 he's hit for the mediums. So Fro now in P4, but not yet pitted, but he is on the medium tyres definitely. He's going to go to lap 18 or so.
Yeah, we seem to be we seem to have decent pace on those medium tyres. He should be at the same pace, not slightly quicker than the soft tyre runners at this moment in time. You'd expect that the soft tyres have moved on past their best days. And they correctly well has taken damages in the pits for a front wing change.
Do you think people who started in the medium tyres, do you think they can take their medium tyres long enough to put an ultras at the end, or is it just like, yeah,
well, they can. It's not. They obviously can. This is whether it's worthwhile
doing it.
Do so. Yeah.
So pretty much everyone's made a pit stop now from about P6 down, no, P7 downwards is what everyone made a pit stop. So we're still spread out a little bit. So Lego Minecraft is still in a net lead as Josh has retired from the race, and that's an insult to injury. So yeah, when everyone in front of them picks, Lego Minecraft will take the lead of this race, but I think he's going to have to. Well, I don't know if he can stop again. I think probably will have to,
No,
depending
I
on
think
his
the
tyre.
mediums can. I think the mediums can go to the end from where he is, but he's going to be struggling on them towards the end. I don't think he'll be at risk of a puncture, but he'll be quite slow.
Well, yeah, if you think that Francis, his teammate, he's pitted, he's only 4.5 seconds behind him as well. So yeah, but anyway. So TT Pro now in taking the lead, 2.5 seconds. Liquid Box has lagged out again, so
No, he
Nickel
retired.
having internet issues. Nickel
He's
retired, is
retired
he?
in the race at this point. Yeah.
Okay, that's a shame for him. Last week's race that's gonna be a blow to his championship if Odems gets a decent race result. Still early in the season though. So I've gone to the stop, so you can see everyone from P3 downwards has pitted. And actually, I didn't notice, but Ilman has made another pit stop. So
Yeah, he has. I'm not sure
12.
if he made a I'm not sure if he made a mistake anywhere, or I don't know what happened. Sam was just going for another set of tyres. He's on the mediums now. I'm not sure if he was on the medium before. That may explain why he's gone for another pit stop. If he wasn't.
So Francis actually made up 12 positions in the start of this race. So a decent start from him. As Throne takes over the lead of this race on lap 13. He can probably get another about 4 or 5 laps in these medium tyres before he has to pit again. I'm not sure where it's going to end up afterwards, but he's showing a reasonable amount of pace here. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, he's up 17 positions from his grid slot at the moment, so he's definitely had a solid race. Also, he's not going to stay in the lead, but definitely, if he pits now, he should come out in the points. He's not going to pit now; he's going to wait for more laps. But he's still looking good for some decent points. He will be quick on those softs at the end, of course.
So, yeah, there's a battle for P8 between Poe and Bakers. Have already made contact once already in this race.
And they've done it again there.
Yeah.
Bakers really not leaving them any room whatsoever in their questionable driving, we've seen today, admittedly.
Two very aggressive drivers in close contact with each other, seemingly, and we've got the two Toro Rossos with Red Bull in the mix as well of King Mick. So another great midfield battle. Yeah, Frame with a 3-second lead now from Lego Minecraft. But yeah, Frame is going to come 4 or 5 laps before he pits again. But anyway,
Yep, this battle for 8th isn't over by any means. As a 400 DRS, he's going to look to the inside, he pulls a dummy and switches to the outside as Baker's tried to squeeze him off the track. He doesn't have enough space to go around the outside there though. Baker's will run to the position.
Becker's going slightly wide on the exit there, but would Poe a good chance on the outside. And he's already got past, so he can be late on the brakes, and Baker's slots in behind him. And Kimmick trying to capitalise. Oh, Kimmick on the inside of Baker's, very aggressive there, and he's got that move done, so great move by
yeah, that was it was an impressive move. He saw the gap and he went for it, and it was a clean move, especially with the stage of gear. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, so Lambo in the second Toro Rosso on track. He's going to see if he can get past the Mercedes driver as well. But Kimmick, can he challenge Poe maybe for P8? Well, Becker's gone slightly wide, but no, defends very well. Good grip.
Yeah, and Lambo's very quick in Australia. He hasn't really shown the same pace here today. I'm not sure if he's had any incidents to worry about in the race, but yeah, he was challenging for the podium last week. Yeah, next to him now, he's down on 11th place at the moment behind his teammate. Looking to get into the points here, can obviously Baker's down his DRS straight.
I think the midfield battle just been so intense. They just losing time from each other. But Lambo's got past Baker's. But Lambo was late on the brakes. And Baker's, had to give that one up in the end. So Lambo in the last point position at the moment in P10. It's scrapping the exit. Can Baker's maybe come back? He's going to try and go on the outside. No, Lambo defends that very well. So,
he's going to try and do what King Nick did last lap and force the way through the inside. He is. There was a bit more contact there, and Lambo holds on to the position.
Oh no!
Oh
god! Baker's sorry, I just seems to be a magnet for other cars at the minute. It just seems to be hitting everyone who's battling with.
He assumes 10th position there. I'm not sure if he really has the pace to catch up to the likes of King Nick and Ford he was battling with earlier.
No, very much so. But the Lego 9 car closing on final frame now in 2 seconds of him. But Frame having a stellar performance here so far this race. King Nick has dropped off a bit back of home now. And Francis did something time factor that's not going to help his aim, but he's in comfortable position anyways, 4 seconds in front of Tom. So Francis still looking in a really good position for the race win here.
Yeah, he's had a tremendous race actually. Remember, he didn't manage to set qualifying time. He started down in 6th position. He's in the 3rd and has made a pit stop, so he's in effective 2nd place.
Yeah,
I'm not quite sure how he made up all those moves. Potentially taking advantage of the fierce midfield battle, especially at the start of the race.
So
Baker and Lambo going side by side again.
Baker's that.
And Baker's managed to defend that again.
Is it cleanly this time?
No. Is the answer.
Right. Okay. The sky's brightening up a little bit, so I don't think we're going to see any rain tonight. This battle between Poe, Kinnet, Baker and Lambo has been so intense. Even at the border pit stops that are battling with each other. But as you can see on the left hand side of the screen Lambo's leading the Epsilon moving. I was going to say Francis within a second with his teammate now. Can you see Team Orders at Force India or Racing? But Force India as they like to call them now. If you was Lego Minecraft, would it be worth battling, or would you try and look after your tyres and just let your teammate through? Is obviously on a quicker strategy at the minute.
Well, we're on the same strategy. Francis seems to be quicker. When he does have a penalty, Minecraft will probably realise that he has a penalty as well, and so it doesn't need to keep Francis behind him. But then I think that Francis is quick enough that he will be able to pull a 3-second gap. So I think it's the safest bet is just try and keep the teammate behind him. I think it's too early in the season, and also that people tend not to value the constructors as much as the drivers. So I don't think they'll be overly fussed about team orders, especially in a league that's as fiercely competitive as this one.
Yeah, perhaps you're right. So Frome, lap 17, he's going to come under some pressure now from not one but 2 Force Indias, and he's going to be very vulnerable going down the back straight. So Frome, can you defend this?
Yeah, he's on those 17 lap all times. He will be looking to pit fairly soon. He's even pitting on this lap, but can he defend first place? You can look to the inside. No, he's not going to bother defending. It looks like I think he's accepted the fact that he's not racing these two drivers.
And Francis is trying to move as well, but Frome comes around the outside, and Frome actually pits.
Yeah, I think that was a smart decision. He didn't want to be losing too much race time battling with drivers who he knows he has no chance of actually completing it in terms of the race result.
So it falls into 1-2 at the minute, and Frome comes in with soft tyres. Where will he come out? going to come out probably about, I see his teammate Greens has gone through, so 8th,
Yeah, I
9th
think it's
position, maybe?
yeah. Yeah, I'll be wanting it to come out ahead of this battle between Bakers and Lambo, which is still raging on.
Oh, he's just
And I
quite
think
ahead
he
of
has.
King Mick, so
Yeah, yeah, it's
very,
good for him.
very impressive there from the F3 champion. Uh, so yeah,
Um,
very good there. And Lambo and Baker's still going at it. Lambo is just sick of the sight of that Mercedes gearbox in a minute. And
they're
this is
fighting over the final points position.
the,
With
this is
Lambo
allowing
thought about a move up the inside there.
Ewan to catch back up. He's only 6 seconds away now, and he was 9 seconds at one point. So this is helping Ewan now massively.
Yeah. We saw it last week. Evan was nowhere for the points, and then he ended up sneaking the points at the end. So he's probably going to try and do it this week as well
Yeah,
if he can.
still
Oh,
10
there's
laps to go in this
been a
race.
move for the lead. Fantas has overtaken Lego Minecraft.
Oh, I missed that. I was going to go on board with that, but Lego Minecraft is
Minecraft's
going
in
to
pits.
pit again, so he's going to go on those soft tyre presumably. He's going to come out. So
Well,
he
probably
won't.
round back where Thorn is, you'd expect.
Yeah, he will come out in ahead of King Nick and William Baker's Lambo battle.
Yep, that battle is still going on. I imagine it'll be going on until the end of time.
they're coming down the pit straight now. And Lego Minecraft got ahead of King Nick.
Baker's into the wall. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, whether that was a late defensive move or an aggressive overtaking move. But Baker's swiped into the wall there and he's lost his front wing.
Yeah, that's very much, and he seems to be getting very slow at the minute. I think Baker's might be imminently retiring. Yeah, I'm not sure what he's doing. He's slowed down. Yeah, he's retired. I thought that would be the case. So Aaron only one spot away from the final point for their own position. And unfortunately, because of my internet issues last week, it was cut off from hearing from Aaron. So we'll see if we can hear from him this week. But anyway, back to the lead. Well, back to Bishop and Bull. Frame and Lego Minecraft. That is going to be a good battle. So you got both on soft tyres, both on the thickest tyre. But Frame is actually not too far away from Poe, so that will P6 that'll be. So they're both coming down the back straight.
You'd be expecting them to carve their way through the field over the next few laps, and maybe it would be strategically sound to postpone battling each other until they've passed a few of these slow cars on the medium tyre.
Yes, definitely. Frame will have a decent toe, and he gets battered up in the race. 1.42. He's too far back to make a move down into turn 1. And Lego Minecraft looks like I didn't capitalize on any short mistake we're going to have with both of these drivers. So it's a three-way battle now for P6.
Yep, let's see how long can Paul keep them behind.
But it looks like Francis looks like he's going to win this race. He took out that first time penalty, but it looks like he's got that in hand at the minute. So if he can keep it going on the track and keep that 3 second lead, he's going to win this race. Still 8 or 9 laps to go, so anything can happen.
He is only one warning away from the second penalty as well.
Oh dear, that would be crucial. Quite easy to pick up penalties. Well, I don't think it is easy to pick up penalties, but seemingly there's been a lot of penalties on the track in all divisions. But anyway, Frame now. Sorry, interrupt you. Frame, he's got a great run now. Poe defending it, and boy, he's obviously left the session. Frame going around the outside. He's got the move done already, but Poe getting late on the brakes, forcing Frame out wide. We will get the better exit out of the last corner.
You'd expect it to be thrown on those soft tyres. He's now at DRS or immediately goes defensive, but it's not going to be enough. Foam has the inside line for turn 1. I think he's got the move done Now, yep, with a bit of time in hand, and Lego Minecraft now trying to sneak up the inside as well. Being opportunistic as he possibly can be, and yep, I think he has. Yep, that's it. So he's up to P7. Paul loses 2 positions in a short space of time now.
Yeah, very much so. So we've got a battle for P6 and Linux between Throne and Mega Mango. Can they catch up to Greeley, who's 4 seconds up the road in P5? So there is a good battle, looks like, forming between Odin and Tom for P2. I think Odems didn't have the greatest entry into the hairpin there, but it allows Tom to stretch his legs a bit. I think Odin's outside DRS range, so yeah, I'm not going to make a move down. Not make a move this time around, but Throne and Lego Minecraft very close together.
Yeah, and you'd expect those two to stay close together for the rest of the race. I think Minecraft's going to have a look. He's going to have the DRS down this along the DRS straight. He's going to have a look to the inside, go and go defensive. Minecraft follows him and then looks on the outside. Very late on the brakes is Minecraft. I think he's got to move. Although Thorn puts a very good exit out of the hairpin. He's going to swoop around the outside of the final corner. He gives it up, but he's going to have the DRS down the pit straight. And then he looks at the inside into turn 1, I think. Yeah, I don't think Minecraft is... No, he is going to fight it. I didn't think he was going to. He switched to the inside there and retakes the position.
And Poe might try and get back on the outside there, but no, he couldn't get it done, unfortunately. So, oh, and Foam's got past. What's happened to Lego Minecraft? Had a really bad exit out of turn 2 there. He's lost not 1, but possibly 2 positions.
Yeah, but terrible exit. I don't know what happened. Whether he lost the back end or... I'm really not quite sure, but he very nearly lost 7 position as well as just 6.
Yes, yeah, unfortunate there for Lego Minecraft. It seemed he got the move done for P6, but he made a mistake and he lost nearly 2 positions. But he will have the DRS going down the back straight. But as you see, Odems is chasing Tom down now for P2. Both they lock up their brakes and Tom defends that very well so far. I'm going to switch back to the Frame and Minecraft battle. It's very hard to keep the eye on both of them, and Minecraft going down the inside this time. Frame choosing not to defend it inside, and Minecraft has got that move done, but can Frame come back into turn 1?
I think he's going to try and use the DRS, whether he wants to just stay within the DRS and try and catch up to his teammate in 5th, or whether he's just going to try and make an overtake at turn 1. No, I don't think he is. He wasn't close enough. He needs to save the DRS as well. He's nearly out of that.
I didn't think Frame got a great exit out of the last corner there, unfortunately. But I'm going to turn my attentions now to the battle for P2. And yeah, this has allowed Francis to get a 4-second lead now. So if Francis doesn't get that another penalty like that Hulk alluded to, he will win this race with 5 laps to go. But Tom seems to be just a little bit more cleaner coming out of the exits, and that seems to be better defending at the minute. Yeah, he seems to get great exit speed out of the corners, Tom has. It's allowing him to defend from Odems. I don't think Odems is going to make a move. He's too far back, trying to pick up the slipstream. But yeah, nowhere near enough to get that step. Frame, yeah, he's still in DRS range with Lego Minecraft, but yeah, he's... oh no! And Tom pits with 3 seconds time penalty. So, yeah, that makes it the job a bit easier for Francis. And Odems, who picked up 2 penalties last week. I haven't seen his name pop up this week so far, so if you can get past Tom and catch up to Francis, he can still win this race.
Yeah, that is true, but he's very close now. He's going to look inside here. I think he is. This isn't usually an overtaking spot, but yeah, I think he's already got the move done, unless Tom tries to hold it around the outside and can't quite manage that. So yeah, I think just need to push hard now, try and close in the 2 seconds or so he needs in the final 5 laps. Or Tom isn't going to leave him alone, as it looks like.
I just need to point out for you something here. I hope Aaron is challenging Poe now. Sorry, not Poe, Lambo, for the final points playing position of this race. So yeah, only 3 tenths separates them. Very crucial points here. Yeah, for the last points of the grid. Aaron needing 2 pit stops. And Lambo's lost it.
Yeah, he doesn't need to make an overtake. Lambo does the hard work for him and spins off the curve. Loses a good chunk of his front wing for good measure.
Yeah, disasters there for the Toro Rosso's. Been battling hard all race, and the riders was great entertainment. But Poe's doing very well in P8, and Lambo's retired. He's given up. So Aaron in P10 now, 11.5 seconds off King Nick. So he'll be happy with a point, I'm sure he will. And Lego Minecraft picks up the fastest lap of the race.
Yep, and him and Foam are catching Greeny in 5th place. I'm not sure if they're going to be quick enough to catch him and overtake him with the laps we'll have left.
So Francis now, the 2 VSR drivers, 1 and 2. Francis with a 5.7 second lead, so looking comfortable, but that could change if he gets another warning, and that will convert his penalties into 6 seconds, which will be a disaster for him. So yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, carry on.
He is just one warning away, but it does look like he's pulling away a little bit from Odems at the moment. The gap was a second smaller, I believe, just a lap to go as Tom runs wide there. Lose a bit more time. He might even lose a position to Jacob Boy there down this pitch. He's going to be a second cliff, I think.
Oh yeah, I missed that. Didn't see that at all. And Jacob Boy, yeah. Will Tom be letting the brakes? No, he won't. He might go try and hang on the inside. No, he can't do that. And Francis gets the fast lap of the race, so he's doing very well at the minute, pushing very hard.
I thought that was a penalty for a second there, but no, it was the fastest lap instead.
Tom's in the gravel, but he escaped without any wind. Yeah, I was thinking that as well. Tom escapes without any wind damage, so
he seems to be struggling on his tyres. I'm wondering if he's overheated them a bit.
Yeah, so the main battle on track is P4, 5, 6 and 7th place. Minecraft and Graham on the soft tyres quite very quickly to Greeny.
Yeah, and now they'll have to overtake. They're not going to get many chances to do that. There's only just a little over 2 laps left.
Yeah, very much so. So it's been another great entertaining race. So who do you say is your driver of the day, Hope, at this stage?
Well, it's hard to look past Francis considering he started down in P16 and now looks to be winning the race at quite a canter, really.
Yeah.
Obviously, Storm has also had a decent race, but really I think Francis definitely wins that award for me.
Yeah, I was just going to say exactly the same as that. I mean, Francis, hard to look past him, but very good race as well. Still could pick up another position here. When I get on, we choose to fight his teammate. Hard enough, I'm not sure, but Lego Minecraft too far back really to make a move, but he might get a great exit coming out the last corner, and he might try and do it turn 1.
Yep, he's going to have a chance here. He's going to have a chance down the straight. It's flying and pick up the penalty.
Yeah, it's so difficult on the exit, going wide there. That's easy to pick up a 3-second time penalty there. And Chrome is falling victim to that. But really doing very well at the moment, not just to stay ahead of these two.
Yep, he's pushing hard on those medium tyres. As we got lines behind left, and he's trying to push them to the very limit. Whether it's going to be enough, he's going to have to defend not much longer now. It's a lap and a half.
Yeah, so then penultimate lap of the race. Yeah, so I'm sorry, reading the chat there for a second, but I'm going to come back to the action. Phone a little bit messy there. Look at mine, try and go down the inside, thinks better of it. And he's very much closer to. Oh! And Minecraft, I think there's contact there between for him and the Ferrari. He got a little bit out of shape there. And he's lost a little bit of time as well. He might be vulnerable to foam.
Yeah, I think the DRS and such he's going to have off the car in front. He's going to help him out with that. He's going to have it on the outside and ahead, and he's caught up between the two. Is there any debris that came off there? I didn't quite see that.
No, I didn't see any fire. So yeah, this battle is going right down to the wire. The Minecraft making move in the turn one, Green defending on the inside. So Minecraft that's going outside does so. Got more contact. I think he's gone straight through his own. Fram was going to get past as well. I didn't get the best view of that. I'm sure there was contact by the looks of it. And
It was
Greeny's lagged out.
left, so that seems to be the end of that battle then. From maybe pushing to get past Lego Minecraft, because at the moment he is within his 3 seconds of 4, who's in 8th place, and that means he would lose position.
I think Greeny, if he's lagged out, he's going to lose positions to Poe and King Nick. He might be safe from Aaron. But yeah, I think, and certainly Ollie Favell is having a disaster
Yeah,
in the race. But
so he's back down. So.
Greeny should pick up a point still, but we're going to switch our attention now to the leader of this race. He's coming through the penultimate corner, and that has a big driver of the day and other teammate. My teammate in FP, we don't really talk much to be honest, but yeah, great result for him. And Odem's second podium of the season. He will take the championship lead. And Jacob Boy, who was a debutant in this race, has been Zelda the podium in the first race. Tom P4 and Throne, a very impressive P5.
Well, that might drop to P6 for Wayne penalties, we'll find out.
Oh yeah, no.
I think 4 had a penalty as well. So. Well, Lego Minecraft must have made a mistake because he's dropped down to 9th place. How's that happened?
Well, Minecraft did have a 50 time penalty, I think, on the last corner.
Yeah, he must have made a major mistake in order to allow Thorm up the 5th goal, because he seemed to be fairly comfortable with that.
Yeah, disaster there for Minecraft at the end, but that is it. That is your China race done, over and done with, ladies and gentlemen, and a great race, very entertaining. Francis, brilliant race, one of the best performances I've seen, I think. And Odems will take the lead of this tournament, like I said. So yeah, very entertaining race, and yeah, we're going to get our podium interviews away very shortly. So yeah, we'll just get the classification come up. I've got some XP for that, so that's great.
Kind of amusing that we get XP for doing nothing. But,
yeah. So Aaron does pick up that final points position, and Lego Minecraft dropped down to P9. So rather than get just the podium people, I'm going to see if I can get some couple more people. Let's see if we can get some other people in the party. Okay. I do have.
One in.
Yeah, I got Aaron and Frome. Can someone suggest Jakey Boy for me? I can't quite find him on the friends list.
Yeah, I'll suggest him. One
Yeah,
sec.
thank you.
I'll suggest him.
Right. Yeah, so sorry about a little bit of delay. I will get the podium interviews shortly. Right, while I am waiting, or while we're waiting for the other two podium guys to, he's one of them's here, so that's great. Yeah, so congratulations to the podium guys there, Francis and Jake, as a brilliant performance there. Francis, what happened in the qualifying first of all? We didn't quite see what happened to you.
Well, I was hoping it went a bit under the radar. I just cooked up the rears out the last corner and went straight into the wall.
Oh, well, that's a shame. That is obviously in the wet conditions, but so when the qualifying session dried up, I mean, you saw all these drivers coming out and posting quick times. What was you feeling at that stage?
Um, Frustration because everyone was on the soft compound, and my plan since before the start of the lobby was to qualify on ultra softs. So it was mainly frustration that I binned early on in the session.
Yeah, so we saw you have some great battles on track during the race, but I think me and Holt were both surprised that you started from the last position on the grid, and yet you came back to win that race. And try and explain to us and the viewers how you managed to do that.
Um, I think what really helped was how I managed to keep the tires in check. It's like maybe after lap 6 and 7, everyone else's tires they were starting to go off and mine was still fine. So I was able to have the pace advantage just purely from tire wear. And I also got a setup. For, I was very happy with it. And the car felt great. All very strong.
Okay, cool. A little bit of echo I'm getting, so sorry about that, guys. Hulk, any questions for Francis?
Yeah, I'm not sure how much did you see of that train that Josh was having behind him after the damage on that one. It was a very big train in the midfield. Were you caught up in that at all?
Is Josh boy no face?
Yes.
Yeah. That helped a lot. Him blocking up everyone. His driving wasn't the best, but I was able to get him out a good time. And then he held up the rest of the field, hitting over the stuff. I managed to get a 3-second buffer already.
Okay, cool. So move on to P2 driver Odems. Who takes the lead of this championship. So Odems didn't have the best qualifying result, but
Can you say Orden's microphone is on?
Just mute someone. I think it's Marquis.
Yeah.
I think it might actually be the one you're trying to interview.
Yeah.
Rip.
I think it's because it's on Share Factory, is it?
No, I don't think so. I think
just plug
he
your
was
mic,
having
plug
during
your
the
mic.
race.
All right, interview him, and then he can leave, and then move on.
Get out of here.
In a nice way.
I don't think the echo is that bad. I mean,
Oh, it's horrific, mate. Let's come on. Speed
yeah,
up.
Odems. Yeah, tell us how your race went.
well, I got literally the worst start possible. I just didn't have any revs whatsoever, so I dropped down to 10th. And then I just had to drive my way through the field, and yeah, it was pretty hectic at the start. Boy with no face's driving was absolutely terrible. Like, oh my god, ew. I got past him just about, and then by then I just had to pick off the rest of the cars, but Francis was really quick today, so I couldn't really get to him.
Well, that's still a great result in I can't really concentrate doing this, but how are you feeling for the championship at this stage? Because Nichols obviously had his problems, so great result for you going forward into Britain.
It's hard to think about the championship on round 2, so yeah, it's nice, but I'm not gonna pay too much attention to it. A lot can happen.
No, very much so. So we're going to move on to third place, sorry, Jacob Boy.
I'll just fuck off the party since Aaron doesn't want me here.
Yeah, okay.
See you later.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, I am here. There you are.
Right, I think that's better now.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, there we are.
All right, yeah. Hulk, any questions for Jacob Boy there?
Yeah, it was your debut race. I saw you in the evaluation race on Wednesday where you showed good pace. So, were you surprised to get a podium, or was that what you were expecting going into it?
No, I did not expect a podium whatsoever. As you could tell, like, it was raining at the start, and I did see Francis Binnett, and I knew he was one of the quickest guys. So I thought that may give me a little bit of hope. So I saw it was going to dry up to like 5 minutes to 10 minutes into it, so I decided to go out on softs, as I knew that ultra softs would only last about 4 to 5 laps. But as soon as I went on the softs, I had no grip from the start. I got lucky to even stick with P2 and 3, and my rears were just overheating, so I was literally just nursing, and everyone just pulled away, and I had to hope until I pit.
Yeah, so a decent result for you there. What's your thoughts going into the next race in Britain?
Yeah, Britain, I am kind of worrying about practice will be needed. I'm not particularly strong on track, but then again, I did think that about China when we went into that practice race last time, and I did relatively well, even though I had to two-stop. But yeah, like I said, on this race, I knew Marquez was quick. Like I knew he was going to jump me. I had to go the extra lap to make my mediums. But yeah, going into the next time, I'm not confident at all, so practice will be needed.
Well, we wish you luck for the next race there. So we're gonna have to move on to what was my second pick for the driver of the day, Flying Throne. Obviously, one of the drivers fell victim in the wet conditions in qualifying, but a great recovery drive. What was your thoughts at the start of the race? What was your strategy going into when you're in the formation lap? What's the thoughts going through your mind?
Just to, get through the first lap, really avoiding all inevitable carnage, especially in turn 1, because it's really tricky and people take different lines into turn 1 round China, so there's always a lot of accidents on the first lap. So it was just, once I'd got up to about sort of 10th, I think people's softs were going off really, and then the mediums felt really good, which is weird because I did a practice a few nights ago and I couldn't really get work in the mediums, so I was a bit surprised. But I thought I had an amazing race, and then I found out Francis had sort of started on back row 1, so maybe it wasn't as good as I thought.
Was you happy with the strategy you've chosen, or would you, thinking about it now, would you like to start on the softs and go never
No,
around?
I think it was the right thing to do, if you're back at grid, just to go along and sort of, when everybody else pits for mediums, you're kind of out at front running your own pace, and they're all battling in midfield, so you can end up picking a few guys off. So no, I don't think I'd change it. I think it went pretty well, as good as I could get from starting last.
Well, yeah, very good result for your race there. And we didn't get to hear from him last week, but thankfully we're here from him now. Hulk, have you got any questions for Aaron there, who had a great result for P10?
Yeah, you had a good qualifying session actually. A lot better than last week. Anyway, what happened at the start that meant you had to pit on lap 1?
Oh.
Apparently,
I don't
know.
Well,
Is he having a nap?
Oh, sorry, guys. I'd just like to thank. I'd just like to congratulate Jake on his podium. I thought he did really well on his debut, and obviously
Yeah, congrats, Jay.
Francis on his win, and Odems as well. Um, I thought quali was good. I think the wet weather conditions really helped because I've got a lap in right at the end, so that was good. Unfortunately, picked up damage at the start because Odems got away a little bit slowly, and Lickle in front disconnected, so there wasn't anything I could do. I couldn't really judge his braking because it's an AI car. But I thought the race, apart from that, went well. I was battling AMK for 16th, 17th, and forced him to pit early. And yeah, just managed to bring the car home and yeah, keep it out of the walls.
And what's your thoughts going into the next round, Britain, where chances are we could see some rain? So, I mean, that helped you today in some respects in the qualifying, but so, yeah, what's your thoughts going into the home of the British Grand Prix?
Just have a good run out and see where I can finish.
Cool, cool. So I'll move back to the race winner, Francis. What's your thoughts going into the next round in Silverstone?
I'd say I'm actually very optimistic for the next race. Britain is personally my strongest track, so I'm hoping to carry the momentum from today forward to next week.
Cool. And yeah, same question to you, Frome.
Yeah, I prefer it a lot more than I do China. It's usually one of my bogey tracks, China. So yeah, looking forward to it really.
Okay, cool. So, Hulk, any questions for the drivers before we finish?
I think we've just about managed to cover anything
Yeah,
eventually.
cool. Yeah, so sorry for the echo, guys, but I hope you enjoy the race and hearing from the drivers tonight. And yeah, we'll see you for F2 next Monday at Silverstone. But of course, JBTV will be here next Sunday at 8 o'clock for the F3 Championship. So I'll see you then. And thanks for watching.